Hello everybody, and welcome back to another World of Tanks video, today starring the tier 5 German medium tank, the Pz.Kpfw. Now let's get this annoying screen out of our face, shall we? There we go. You know what? I want this one. There we go. Now I'm in a tier 7 match on Lakeville, standard battle, and I've decided to head towards the town. Now on my Pz.Kpfw Ausf I use the 105mm gun. You see I have a bit of premium ammunition in this tank. By default the HE or the heat ammunition loads first, unfortunately, and sometimes I forget to switch. Now I know you can switch this order. At least I figured this out after playing this tank for a very long time indeed, that you can actually switch the order at which the ammunition is in your toolbar below. But I don't know this here, so initially you're going to see me here in this match with an HE shell loaded, which is very unfortunate because they're very expensive and I generally only use heat in clutch situations where I absolutely need to pen my target, which is very rare indeed. Basically when you make a stupid mistake is when I decide to use something different. Now I see the Saint-Emile there. Very unique position, let's call it that. And there we go, 350 damage. Very nice. Still haven't noticed I've loaded heat. Very unfortunate. Check the corner, see if there's anybody showing up, and decide to push up. See a potential target. That's a long way away. And I miss. Still don't notice the heat. I can be a bit of a derp sometimes. Now we have this M4 A3E2. The reason I'm not pushing around this corner is because I'm not entirely sure who else is there. Might be some other tanks. And right about here I figure out that I'm in fact firing heat. So that's the last heat shell you see me fire the rest of this match. So far done only damage to that Saint-Emile, which was 350 damage. I was actually trying to blow his tracks off there, unfortunately I failed. Cromwell's coming around the corner here. Decide to help out there, he's the most dangerous opponent right now. Do some damage, not a lot. Get into a bit more cover here. Did a very large amount of damage indeed. And the poor Cromwell gets blown up. Ammo racks can be heartbreaking. I decide to flank around, see if I can... my opposing tank thinks the same thing. I decide to take out the enemy TD first. And I'm blown up. Very good. You can also see that I didn't actually need that heat shell to pen the Saint-Emile. Artillery is taking a liking to me. Wonder why. So far things are going rather well. T-37 still lives. Doesn't have a lot of health, but if I can take him out, he's a tank destroyer, he should... oh, he's actually not a tank destroyer. At least he's an enemy tank, I should try and kill him if I can. It's another gun removed from the enemy team. A bit of an ambush there. You can actually see that this gun does alright downrange, but not amazing. The Saint-Emile shot at the start was a nice example of the ranges that you can still reliably hit somebody. But if you go to larger ranges, then like the Panzer 38 NA you saw, then that's very difficult to hit your target. You can see, even though this tank has a top speed of 40 kilometers per hour, but all things considered, it's actually quite maneuverable. It gets around very fast. Its power to weight ratio isn't bad at all. Means it's a lot less sluggish than you would expect it to be. Now I still have that the memory of that Pz.Kpfw in the back of my head. I mean, I shot him once, but he should still be around here somewhere. I would imagine that we would have spotted him otherwise, so he can't really be that far. Just see the rear of that tank, but cannot take a shot. GW Panther. Oh, I die a lot of these things.
Wir haben sie böse erwischt.
Not sure if that tank's just so good or I'm just very bad at hiding from RT. Let's try to get moving. Now it's just a matter of mopping up what's left. That Pz.Kpfw isn't on full health anymore. Missed that shot. And keep moving. And there's the Pz.Kpfw. Oh, it's actually not the Pz.Kpfw I hit earlier. I thought it was. Take way too long aiming that shot. And now I can take it. Very nice. Okay, so that was a match. So that was my ace tanker. Got this medal. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that, but what it means is that I managed to kill 2 enemy tanks 2 tier higher as myself in a medium tank. Did a grand total of 1506 damage, killing 3 tanks and earning 1000 experience. The detailed report, we can see that I did actually do a fair bit of damage further than 300 meters away. Does show that this gun, as far as derp guns go, is actually quite accurate still, and also got a fair bit of assistance damage. I would imagine that's from tracking tanks and spotting them, etc. So yeah, let's go on to the next replay, shall we? So here we are in another tier 7 match. A few tier 7 tanks, a few tier 6 one, but I'd say about half the team is tier 5, so it could be a worse matchup, but let us see if today I remember to switch my my heat to HE and spare myself a little bit of money at the end of the match. I'm platooned up with Korsakov. He's in his Shinukai, and we are on steps on an encounter battle. Now, let's see how we do, shall we? Okay.
Legen wir los!
I do in fact remember to load my HE this time, and we are going to go to the 1-2 line, where usually most of the heavies show up. So we're going to see what we can do there. I'm not going to push too aggressively. I am quite fast, as you can see. I maintain 40 kilometers per hour with relative ease, but I'm a little bit worried what will happen if I push beyond this ridge. So I stay put here and wait for the enemy to show up. Shinukai. Would be nice if I could get a shot in. Oh, and the bad luck. He did actually penetrate him, but after that he caught fire and burned to death. So that's 450 health. Just disappeared of this Shinukai. Not a very nice way to start the match, I suppose, but hey, his loss is my gain in this case. Going to try and kill the Crusader. Unfortunately the shot misses. Well, this is the derp gun life, I suppose. And again. Was a bit of a shady shot to start with, to be honest, so can't really complain. And that one flies low. This is the unfortunate reality of firing a gun like this. And there we have a very nice hit. Now for some reason my XVM is not working properly, so I suppose I'll have to try and fix this for the next one. And here I purposefully track this Black Prince. I want to track him out in the open. Of course I do a little bit of damage myself as well, but the team is absolutely taking it apart, and that's all damage that is, yeah, thanks to my detracking, at least as far as the game is concerned. Now arguably he would not have made it far anyway, but him being a stationary target there definitely helped us. Now I decide to push.
Feuererlaubnis erteilt. Ich sehe sie nicht
So
mehr.
this Panther, it would have been nice if it hit, but yeah, when moving and aiming at the same time and then using this derp gun, the chance of me actually hitting was quite small indeed.
Unsere Kette ist zerstört. Wir sitzen fest.
My tracks eat that shot, I'm very happy about it. And he's bouncing. Very nice.
Erwischt.
Now you can see this tank can still bounce a fair amount of shots. I mean, that was a tier 5 tank that was bouncing off me. Granted, it's not the most high penetration gun in the game that was shooting at me, but still, if you angle your tank, this tank can really pull off bounces. So yeah, this is something something nice, something that works in this tank's advantage. Now again, I don't actually expect this to
Ziel
hit.
verloren.
Now here's a Churchill 1. This is a far more important target for me, that the artillery will be killed by someone at least. There's too many people here with us. Probably already dead. Yeah. Now the Churchill is a bit of a weak turret, so that's my target here. Just because your HE will always cause damage anyway, doesn't mean you should just ignore weak points. If you can, just aim for him, and if the shot flies through, you do more damage than you would have otherwise. Now, ideally I would point to the weak points on the side of his tracks, which the Churchill does have. But yeah, he was not in the position where I could do so. I move on and see if we can get the final kill on this Cromwell. Highly unlikely, there's a lot of other tanks there and a lot of them are faster than me. But we'll see. I have not lost a single hit point of health yet. Did get a little bit of damage in my tracks, but yeah, it's quite acceptable. And there's the Cromwell. Still has almost 500 hit points, but I have a feeling that won't last long. Artillery is also trying to shoot him. And we are here. And that's it. That was the game. This was also an ace tanker. Probably not in small part due to the assistance damage caused to this, this Black Prince. But yeah, overall we did rather well. We ended up 5th in the team on damage done and 1st in the team on experience earned. Here you can see 700 spotting damage. This will most of it be due to the tracking damage I did to this Black Prince, and 1000 damage of my own. Now let's move to the final replay of today. And here we are in the final replay of today with Pz.Kpfw alongside me once again. If I do remember correctly, it was actually the same evening, but yeah, we'll see how we do here. We are on mines, standard battle, tier 7 again. And yeah, in case you haven't noticed, this is me showing off that even though this derp gun is not the greatest gun in the game, when facing top tier tanks, or when facing tiers higher than yourself, it doesn't mean you're useless in these games. You can do so well in even in these kind of matches if you're just careful and play a bit more conservatively than you normally would. I mean, you always cause damage when firing these HE shells, unless you're really firing at an angled IS or something. Yeah, that's not really going to work in your favor, but you can do a lot in these kind of matches. Okay, we're moving up and we see a KV-1S and an M4, SRL-44 as well. I'm not actually that sad about this, because these are all tanks my tier. This means I can actually do a lot more than I otherwise would. And oh, there's a D29. Top tier heavy tank, very nice tank indeed. Now, luckily, this 3601H is very keen on pushing beyond this cover of this Ausf D29 friend. Wow, this is really coming out well. T29 Ling game. That's how this works. I'm going to check for the T29 there. Keep him spotted. I'm hoping Artie takes note, but knowing Artie probably focused on the hill right now. Oh, well, you know what? I spoke too soon. The Hummel actually fired on the 36-1H. Now I see some Artie at the back and I'm thinking maybe I can take a shot. Fortunately not the case. Yeah, that was just poor shooting from my part. But I wanted to take the shot quickly. He was currently aiming at Pz.Kpfw and I saw an opportunity to take a shot. This is roughly when I realize I should actually be pushing up a little bit. Fired a shot into the ground, fortunately. That's the turret of the T-29 is extremely well armored, so that was never going to do an enormous amount of damage. Got lucky that missed. The T-29 is a very nice gun indeed. The T-29 is pulling back. That's alright with me. And I'm still a bit cautious here. But quite soon I think you'll... yeah, here we go. Here I realize I should probably be pushing around and see if I can get the flank of this T-29. Now, earlier this was a bit more difficult because the T-29 still had shots on me, and I believe the T-29 has a gun that can not necessarily one-shot me, but 2 shots should definitely be possible. As you can see, here he is. Now I reload before him, so I take another shot. And he has other problems, namely Pz.Kpfw and, well, that 1S was a problem, but not anymore. I keep putting shots in the side of this T-29. Oh, he sees me. I cannot take any more risks. T-36 Pz.Kpfw also takes a few shots. Now the side of the turret might still be well armored, but if I get the flat side of the turret I will still do a nice amount of damage. And I don't want to risk the tracks eating all this up. Damage. Not really sure where all of these shots are hitting, it's quite difficult to see, but at least they're hitting, they're causing damage. And I'm making this T-29's life a bit more difficult here. Now luckily I have a T-20 now, who's come to help me. And basically me, Pz.Kpfw and this recently deceased KV-1S kept this flank from falling. We really won this flank here. And we kept at bay one of the heaviest armored tanks in the team. And caused a lot of damage to that tank. I think I, in the end, did almost 1,000 damage solely on this this IS driver, or sword. Now, because this armor was this thick, you actually don't damage that many modules, but yeah, even a few damage modules can be very annoying. Now here we have this very brave BDR G1B, who's been very useful to the team. Now only has 8 health, a bit unlucky there. RNGesus was against us with that shot. Nah, that's against her. And now we can push for artillery. Hummel's over there. T-20 is going to charge. And I have a reasonably good idea where to find the final artillery. So we're going to keep going. And there he is. And we get it. And that was it. That's the final ace tanker for this video of today. I slightly overestimated the amount of damage I did to this T-29. It was a hair under 700 damage I did to him. Caused a lot of damage to his components here. I would imagine at least 2 of these are tracks, but a lot more was damaged apparently than I initially thought. The heavy armor of these kind of tanks generally stops a lot of the modules from getting damaged, even from these kind of derp guns. Now in the team score we can see that I actually came second on damage done in a tier 7 match, so I'm quite happy about this. And I came well on top on experience earned. Did a grand total of 1360 damage and 500 assistance damage, probably due to the spotting we did from the position we were in. Now I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please leave a like and I'll see you for the next one.